Today we talk about the nature of love. Listen to the conversation and learn new words.
You've been staring at that painting for 10 minutes. You have the look of a person trying to decipher a map that isn't in any language you recognize.
It's a remarkably accurate way to put it. I was just thinking that we, as a species, are fundamentally ill-equipped to talk about the most important things.
That's a bold opening statement. What's brought this on?
That painting. And, well, love. I've been reading essays on it, listening to podcasts, and it all feels so reductive. We're trapped. We're either stuck in the shallow, commercialized language of pop songs and romantic comedies, or we're in the sterile, biological language of neuroscience. Oxytocin, vasopressin, dopamine loops. One is a fantasy. The other is a chemical schematic. Neither feels true. Neither captures the experience of love.
Nodding slowly, you're frustrated with the inadequacy of our narratives. It's a valid frustration. We've discussed the simple Greek categories before, storge, philia, eros, agape, and even that feels like sorting different colored blocks. It's descriptive, but it doesn't explain the underlying gravity of the thing itself.
Precisely. I'm not interested in the types of love anymore. I'm trying to understand its nature. What is this phenomenon? Is it a divine madness, as Plato suggested? Is it a sophisticated survival mechanism dressed up in poetry? Is it a social construct? Or is it, as I suspect, an existential project of the highest order?
Well, this is Cafe Dialogue. I can't think of a better place to try and untangle it. Let's start with the foundation. The biological argument is the least romantic, but the most difficult to refute.
Right. The evolutionary commitment device. I've read Helen Fisher's work. She posits 3 distinct brain systems: lust, romantic attraction, and long-term attachment. It's a compelling model. It explains how we can be in a long-term, loving attachment with one person and suddenly feel intense romantic attraction for someone else. It's not a moral failing, it's a systems conflict.
It's a survival mechanism. Lust gets us to look for options. Attraction, eros, makes us focus our energy on one person to conserve resources. And attachment, storge or pragma, evolves to keep us together long enough to raise a child through its incredibly vulnerable infancy. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, love is a brilliant piece of biological engineering. It's a set of chemical shackles that feel like freedom, designed to ensure the propagation of the species.
But that's my problem. That explains the mechanism, but it doesn't explain the meaning. It explains the how, but it completely ignores the why. A neuroscientist can show me a brain scan of someone in love, and it's fascinating. It's a beautiful clockwork, but it doesn't explain the phenomenological experience of love. It's like describing this painting by listing the chemical composition of its pigments. You've described everything except the art.
You're rejecting biological reductionism. I agree. The experience of love, the way it shatters our ego, the way it reorients our entire world, feels like it transcends a mere survival strategy. So, if it's not just a biological impulse, what is it?
I think it's a choice, an existential act. I've been reading some Sartre and de Beauvoir. Their perspective is terrifying, but also liberating. They argue that love isn't something we find or fall into. That's a passive, bad faith way of looking at it. Love is a project. It's something we choose to build every single day.
A project? That also sounds unromantic. It sounds like a construction job.
But it is. Think about it. Sartre's core idea is that we are radically free, and that freedom is a source of profound anxiety. When we fall in love, we are often trying to escape that freedom. We try to become one with the other person, a love fusion. But this is a trap. We either try to possess the other, turning them into an object,
Or we allow ourselves to be possessed, becoming an object for them. This is the hell is other people paradox. Love becomes a battlefield of two freedoms, each trying to limit the other.
That sounds incredibly bleak. So, for the existentialists, is successful love even possible?
Yes, but only in what they call an authentic love. An authentic love is not a fusion. It's a relationship between two free individuals who choose to be together, but who never surrender their individual freedom or try to steal the others. They recognize each other as free subjects. It's a love that says, I choose you in your complete and terrifying freedom, and I will not try to save you from it, nor will I use you to save me from my own. That, to me, sounds like real love. It's an active, daily choice.
I appreciate the emphasis on freedom and choice, but I also find it intellectually arrogant in a way. It places all the power in our conscious, rational mind. What about the past? Or what about the unconscious? Are we really so free to choose?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're overlooking the entire psychodynamic model. Object relations theory, for example, would argue that we don't choose our partners in a vacuum. We are, almost invariably, seeking to either replicate or repair our earliest attachments.
You mean my love for someone is just me trying to fix my relationship with my mother? That's even more reductive than the biological model.
Hold up a hand. Clarifying. Not so simplistically. But think about it. Our first experience of love, our first object, is our primary caregiver. That relationship creates a deep, unconscious template for what love is. That template dictates what feels familiar, what feels exciting, what feels like home. We are often drawn to people who fit this template, even if that template itself is dysfunctional.
So when someone says they have a type, they're actually describing their unconscious template.
In a sense, yes. We aren't choosing our ideal partner from a rational list. We are unconsciously drawn to a familiar set of problems. We are seeking to finally win a love we never quite secured as a child, or to replicate a comfort we once knew. So this radical freedom Sartre talks about might just be an illusion. We are, in many ways, prisoners of our own history, replaying the same script with different actors. You're rejecting biological reductionism. I agree. The experience of love, the way it shatters our ego, the way it reorients our entire world, feels like it transcends a mere survival strategy. So, if it's not just a biological impulse, what is it?
I think it's a choice, an existential act. I've been reading some Sartre and de Beauvoir. Their perspective is terrifying, but also liberating. They argue that love isn't something we find or fall into. That's a passive, bad faith way of looking at it. Love is a project. It's something we choose to build every single day.
A project? That also sounds unromantic. It sounds like a construction job.
That is a profoundly deterministic and depressing thought. If that's true, what's the point? It means authentic love is impossible and we're all just doomed to repeat our childhood patterns. There's no hope for growth or change.
Not necessarily. The psychodynamic model doesn't say you're doomed to repeat it. It says you're driven to repeat it until you make the unconscious conscious. The path to freedom isn't by ignoring your past, as the existentialists might, but by understanding it. By recognizing your patterns, you can, for the first time, actually make a real choice. You can choose to not engage in the old drama. You can choose a partner who is good for you, rather than just familiar.
So you're saying we have to become archaeologists of our own minds, dig up our past and understand our patterns before we can even begin to make the authentic choice that the existentialists talk about.
I think so. Which leads me to another idea, one that I think bridges the gap between your love as a choice and the love as a feeling problem. What if love isn't a feeling or a choice, but a practice?
A practice? Like practicing a musical instrument.
Exactly. I'm channeling Eric Fromm here. His book, The Art of Loving, is a masterpiece. His central argument is that our society has it all backward. We think love is the object, the thing you find. We think the problem is how to be loved. But Fromm argues that love is an art form, a skill. The real problem is how to love.
I love that. So it's not something you find like a treasure. It's something you build, like a house. Or in our setting, it's not a cup of coffee you order. It's the skill of the barista.
Exactly. And like any art form, whether it's music, painting, or being a barista here at Cafe Dialogue, it requires knowledge and effort. Fromm says it requires 4 essential components: care, responsibility, respect, and knowledge.
Okay, I need to write these down. Care is obvious, I suppose.
It is, but it's active. It's the concrete concern for the life and growth of the other person. Responsibility is not a duty imposed on you, but a voluntary response to the needs, spoken or unspoken, of the other. Respect is the profound one. It's the ability to see the other person as they are, in their own right, and not as an object to serve your needs. It's about respecting their individuality and their freedom.
Writing, then stopping. But the last one, knowledge. That's the one I struggle with. How can you ever truly know another person? We are, at our core, separate. We don't even fully know ourselves. To claim to know another person feels like an act of profound arrogance.
And you've just walked into the final and most advanced room of this museum. You're right, the idea of total knowledge is a myth. In fact, it's a dangerous one. It's the myth of soulmates, that one person can perfectly understand and complete you. That idea leads to possession, not love.
So how can knowledge be a part of love if it's impossible?
We have to redefine the word knowledge. Maybe the goal of love isn't to achieve knowledge as if it were a final exam you could pass. Maybe the practice of love is the pursuit of knowledge, the patient, human, lifelong effort to understand the mystery of the other person.
So it's the act of seeking, not the destination of finding.
Or, to take it to the next level, maybe true love is what a philosopher like Emmanuel Levinas suggested. Maybe it's not the pursuit of knowledge at all, but the exact opposite. Maybe it's a profound respect for the unknowability of the other person.
Respect for their unknowability. That sounds difficult.
Levinas's idea is that we truly encounter another person when we encounter their face. The face is not just their physical features. It's the part of them that is totally vulnerable, unique, and impossible to categorize or know. It's their pure alterity, their otherness. For Levinas, the face makes an ethical demand on us. Thou shalt not kill, which means thou shalt not possess, objectify, or reduce me to your idea of me. True love in this model is not a fusion. It's a constant, active, ethical relationship with a mystery. It's the act of being called into responsibility by the face of the other.
So love is the act of promising to protect a mystery, to cherish a person because you can never fully grasp them.
Yes, it's a commitment to a person, not to your idea of that person. This is why long-term love is so difficult. We don't fall in love with a person, we fall in love with our image of them. The art of loving them is the art of constantly letting go of that static image and re-engaging with the real, changing, unpredictable, and ultimately unknowable person right in front of us.
After a long, profound silence, looking back at the chaotic painting on the wall, it all comes together. The painting, it's not a map. It's a portrait of the experience itself. It's chaotic, it's passionate, it's frightening, but it's also beautiful, and it's constantly in motion. It's not something to be solved or understood, only something to be experienced and respected.
A perfect synthesis.
So to understand the nature of love, you have to look at it all at once. It's a powerful biological drive that we are born with. It's a complex psychological script written by our past. But to make it meaningful, we have to elevate it into a conscious existential choice, a project of freedom. And to make it last, we have to engage in it as a daily ethical practice, Fromm's art of loving. And the goal of that practice is not fusion or possession, but a profound, humble, and lifelong respect for the mystery of the other, Levinas's face.
It's the ultimate human project, to take an animal instinct and a childhood script and, through conscious, disciplined, and compassionate effort, transform it into a transcendent ethical commitment. It's the most difficult and most worthwhile art form there is.
Well, here's to the artists. Thank you for this, Chloe. This conversation itself was an act of philia, a loving, respectful practice of mutual understanding.
I'll drink to that.
Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave a comment.